All right. Thank you. Good time. What was that first spiritual experience you'd like to share with us?
Okay, I'll go ahead and share one real quick.
Very good. Did you bring your family tonight, Andrew, for that Bible session?
Oh no, I wasn't able to get them coordinated tonight.
Okay.
My nephew went to his dad. My mom was. Everybody just went their own ways, and then I had to split and get on the train.
Okay.
But the story is about just a few minutes ago. I just finished wrapping up this great conversation with these ladies I met here on the train, because one of them was sitting on the train and we left New Orleans at the same time. And
that were your family from New Orleans?
Well, they're in Baton Rouge, but I had to, leave out of Union Passenger Station.
Yeah.
And so,
I ain't taking nothing over there.
Okay, go ahead. Get some Baton Rouge.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so, we're riding on a train. We're good, 5 hours in, and one of the ladies walking around, and she's going, oh, my leg is killing me. Oh. And she said, I heard her say a lot, I just want this pain to stop. And I looked over. I had just finished doing my meditation. I looked over and I said, "Excuse me, ma'am, can I talk to you?" And I said, "Well, can I try to help you with what's going on?" And she said, "Yeah. What can you do?" I was like, "Can I touch your leg?" She said, "Yeah." So I started releasing the pain from her leg, and she goes, "Oh my God, it's getting better. It's getting better." So I got rid of all her pain, but the best part was that we got to talk, and they've been having all these experiences. She said, "I've been praying for someone like you because I don't want to have these surgeries. I don't want to. These people are telling me I need to be cut on. These people are telling me all this." And I'm like, "Well, I just fixed the majority of it. So clearly you don't have to have surgery." And she's like, "Oh my God." Then she's like, "How did you know?" I was like, "I kind of felt you." And then we all continued to talk and, got to share different spiritual experiences, and I got to share some of the wisdom. So I'm sending them the links to class, but everybody was like, "Okay, this is too perfect right now." And the funny thing, they were the first people I spoke to in BatonRouge. In New Orleans. When I got to the train station and I was trying to figure out what line to get into, we were all in the same spot in line together.
Well, it was intended to be. Yeah, and I'll tell you all a little something about healing tonight. I want you all to understand that nobody actually heals anybody. What's happening is that people are all healing themselves. You all have the power to heal yourself. Jesus understood this, because when he would see a person with a malady, the first question he would ask is, do you believe that I can do this thing? Because he understood that the people would have to be in compliance with him to match his frequency. In other words, the healer has a frequency where he's seeing you better, where he's seeing you healed. And you have to match his frequency in order to make that be a reality. So always remember that as deities, you all have the power to heal yourself. But most of the time it's initiated by an outward force or what you call a healer. So that's the significance of needing to have us around. All right? Anybody have any questions?
Yep. I tell my clients that all the time. I said, look, you got to be the one to know that you're going to be able to get better. All I can do is help show you the way, but you got to walk the steps.
That's exactly right. Because as a man thinketh, so is he. What people have to believe is their wealth. Now, you have to understand that in regards to healing, let me explain to you that please mute your phones. Look, you all are shifting bodies billions of times per second. Are you following me? Is that clear to you? You're shifting bodies and realities billions of times per second. By that, what's happening is that you get a completely brand new body billions of times per second, including an entire reality. But the question should be, then Amun, why do I keep on having these same maladies, these old problems in a new body? It's because the things you look at will never change until you change the way that you look at things. If you persist and insist that you have a malady or a pain or a source of pain, and you believe that, it's all about belief. Just like your belief can make you whole, it can cripple you. You follow me? So you have to be aware of fake charlatans and doctors that'll put, if you all are not really paying attention, most of you, I bet, the commercials and what have you on TV, they advertise products and they say, do you have back pain? Do you have this? Do you have that? You have so-and-so. And it's in the background, and you're not really paying attention to it, but it's slipping into your mind, and it's starting piled up and compiled in your mind, and it gets so high that you start believing it. And then without knowing it, one day you're driving on your car and you tell your husband or your wife, baby, I believe I got so-and-so. And that's where it comes from. You understand? In ancient Egypt, they used to make reference to sickness and disease as the devil. You follow me? That was called the devil. So you got to understand that you're surrounded by false beliefs. Now, and another thing I got to tell you that 80% of what you call maladies, and you would believe most of the time that this is unconnected to it, is only due to impurities in your body. You need to be simply detoxified. There was a woman that was paralyzed and couldn't walk for 7 years. And a guy came in, and he was knowledgeable enough to know that she needed to be detoxified. He did that, detoxified her. When he cleaned her system, the woman got up, walked, and been walking ever since. Understand that. So in case you're thinking this was not related to a disease, this was something else, I'm telling you that 80% of your problems are due to being, filled with impurities. You have to be detoxified, okay? And I have a formula for detoxification that is very powerful. I just wanted to let you know it's not a selling point, but it is a formula from Dr. Ando that had a big farm on the Gold Coast and one here outside of Atlanta. But he passed not too long ago from stomach cancer, and he didn't tell me that he had it, and I don't know why, but he died in Africa. But Quico Ando, he looked like Papa Smurf. He used to tickle me. He was a brilliant, brilliant man. He was the one that told me, he said, Ahmed, there was a time many, many, many years ago that we as the elders, because I had asked him about the crystal skulls, what he knew about it. He said, we as the 24 elders gathered and we created the crystal skulls with our minds. We shaped and formed the molecules with our hands, but it was our minds. And then we placed all the information that we had inside those crystal skulls. All the universal knowledge that we had inside those crystal skulls. And I found that to be true. And then he said, we all agreed to separate and spread out over the four corners of the world, and in the end times, that we had a pact to all come together again. And we are here, gathered here in the United States, in the Western United States. And I said, wow, that's something. And like I said, he was a brilliant fellow as far as monatomic white powder gold and different things like that. He was creating his own formulas, and they were so effective that he could take a match, and when he gave you that gold, the match would light up and then would levitate if you looked at it. He would make small, lightweight objects levitate off the ground, and he was a profound healer. You follow what I'm saying? But there are people in the world that have these abilities and have been gifted like that. But many of you have read in the Bible where there's a herb somewhere in the world that'll heal anything, and that's just one means of being healed. You follow me? And I want you all to know that those of you that don't know, that I am a herbologist as well. And I do that for people that really need to have some type of a physical ingredient or some type of a physical manifestation in order to cling on to believe that that's the source of their healing, and it works as a placebo. But I do have access to all of Dr. Sadie's herbs and what have you. I just wanted you all to know that you don't have to suffer unnecessarily, so just remember that your healing is only a phone call away. Okay, now, who has that first question they'd like to ask?
I have a question.
Very good.
I have a question.
Go ahead, sister.
Go ahead.
My question was, correct me if I'm wrong, Amun. How come I never hear like the other like student teachers talk about you? Like I only hear them talk about.
Because I am the hidden one, right? And Passcode, even though he wrote about me extensively, just like when they told the Nawapians to get rid of the holy tablets, right? That was an error because I'm all through the book. For those of you that have been following me, how many of you agree with that? Verbalize your answer.
I totally agree with that. This is Kufu.
I agree.
Yes, I agree.
I agree.
And what about the Injil?
Likewise.
I agree.
Yes, all of those scriptures authored by him, and in all of the actual facts. In fact, there are actual facts that he has written that authored only exclusively about me, such as count one, count them not, or who is the Nawabian Christ, and I could go on, right? And as far as his doctrine and what he's been teaching on earth, ever since the advent of Dr. Malachi or Imam Isa here in the world in 1968 through 1970, which was his time to rule, the first half off of 1970 to 2000, and from 2000 to 2030 is my time to rule. The only consistent thing that he's been teaching about, and it's never changed, mute your phone, has been the return of Jesus, of my return. Are you following me? So now that's the reality of it. But what I find strange, sister, and I never try to ask questions with questions, is I want to know why is it that all these Nawabians claim that they believe in Dr. Malachi Z. York or Passcode, but they completely ignore his teachings. You follow me? I would suggest very strongly to you that the question should be asked of them. Why don't they speak of me more? You follow what I mean? Because Passcode, say it again. Go ahead.
I was about to say, I was wondering why do we have such a small class if you're,
Well, the truth of the matter is about the small classes is that the size of the classes depends on the people that I'm teaching, right? Mm-hmm. In other words, Passcode or Dr. Malachi Z. York didn't publicize himself or place himself in the mainstream. It was due to the work of word of mouth and through his disciples, just like Jesus or Moses or Muhammad or anybody else. His disciples went out and did the work. Because the job of an apostle or a prophet or a messenger is to deliver the message from the Creator to the world. And the job of the people in his immediate surroundings is to take that message and spread it and propagate it to the rest of the population. Are you following me, sister? So the question should be asked of the people that are here with me, why aren't you bringing more people here to class? And I try to make it easy because twice a week, at the minimum, I will send out a post. It didn't happen today because I got a little involved, but I usually send out a post to you all, and you can always send out a post that I sent you previously and change the day from Thursday to Sunday or whatever and repost it because it's important to send people class links and information and call-in times. So nobody has an excuse not to send out a post twice a week before class to let people, inform people around. Let me say this. All of you have been given a power that nobody, your predecessors, didn't have. In old days, we had to walk barefoot from country to country and from door to door to try to reach people one-on-one. But today, like Oprah Winfrey or any media magnate like Donald Trump, you all have a simple electronic apparatus in your hand like your cell phone or a computer for many of you, that you can go on Facebook and join all the large groups. Stop me when I'm wrong. You can go on Twitter and gather a large following, LinkedIn, Instagram, Telegram, and all these media outlets. Isn't it a very simple thing for you to join all these large groups and copy and paste the post that I send you? Let me say, in Facebook alone, there's one group called the Children of Ra that have over 2.5 million people in it. Did you hear me? I didn't say 1,000. I said there's one large group on Facebook that has over 2.5 million people. What I'm saying to you all is it's a very simple thing for you all to reach millions of people each and every day. But you'd be amazed at the excuses that people give for not doing such a simple thing as falling off a log twice a week. They'll say, well, I don't like public media. I don't like to put my name out there. Well, who are you?
Automatically end in.
People don't know you, and don't imagine yourself so important that you're more important than to magnify yourself above saving 144,000 purified souls. Don't magnify yourself. Don't bloviate yourself like that. You're not that important. Neither am I. I put myself out there every day and in every way that I can. And I understand that as the leader of any group, as the central figure that's charismatic to it, that I have a target on my back like Martin Luther King or anybody else. And anybody that's really thinking about it, the things that I teach are much more intense and more profound than anything that Martin Luther King ever said. Because when you ask me the truth, I tell the truth, and I don't care. I'll pull the trigger regardless of the magnitude of the question. You all know that. I don't run from truth. And by that, do you know that I personally, acquire much enmity in the world, a lot of enemies? There are people in this government and this world that just really resent what I'm doing. And they always resent it every time we come. But I've never been alone like this, where the disciples are afraid to step up as individuals and sit inside of a personal room and get on a device and just tag millions of people around the world to the truth in the safety of their own home. I can't believe that. This is a war, and I'm taking point. But is there anybody to come with me? Is there anybody that's got the courage to stand up and tell the truth and stand on the truth? Listen to me, family. Once you're alive with the Most High, when you're with the Creator, when the Creator's with you, none can be against you. Mm-hmm. Be clear about this one fact. There's nothing to fear except fear itself. And don't magnify yourself with your personal own importance, because the same brother or sister will get out there and start a personal endeavor or campaign where they want to reach people, and they'll go out there and reach every public media format that they can to publicize themselves and their personal cause. But you have to ask yourself, why aren't they that motivated to get the truth out there to make successful as quickly as possible the mission, the divine mission of raising 144,000 purifiable souls? So, sister, the question is a very valid question and the most important question of the day, but it's directed at the wrong being. Because my job is to get the message and the information to you all. I am His Word made flesh, dwelling among men. That is true. But it is not my responsibility to reach the masses in the world. It belongs to you. So the one asking the question knows better than the one being asked. I'll ask you, why aren't the classes bigger? Have you ever received any of my posts, sister?
I received one. I didn't receive one recently. I will send you a testimony. Yes.
I'm very glad. You're a very good soul. Okay, now, with the one post that you received, how many times have you reposted that in public media?
One time. recently. I think it was last Thursday.
Well, somebody told me you have been posting. So are you posting it in large groups though?
I posted on my Instagram. What I did is I tried to organize the posts that I wanted to post for this class, and So after you just said that, because I now have other ideas of how I can post a message.
I love you. All you have to do is really implement them, because everybody here really wants to go to the new heaven and new earth. They want to earn an eternal throne, and I'm telling you the way that you earn that. You follow me? Because it's not a gift that's bestowed on everybody. A lot of people are standing around inside their homes and waiting for heaven to knock on the door and say, "Hey, I've been looking for you." To jump on them because they're special.
30 seconds.
Well, let me tell you something. You make yourself special and you stand out, and a tree is judged by what?
The fruit it bears.
The fruit it bears.
It bears of its fruit.
That's right. So you can either talk the talk or walk the walk.
Mm-hmm.
I walk the walk. Please walk with me.
Conference ending. Goodbye.
And I want you all to understand clearly that my message is that there is no big or small in the eye of all, right? So there's nobody that we should idolize or look up to or venerate in that way, except that there are beings that were sent to you from the Most High that are much more awake than you are, right? Just like you may be more consciously awake than your family members, your siblings, or your mate, or your friends. You follow?
Mm-hmm.
So it's incumbent upon me to let you realize how the Most High is being chosen. The way the Most High, or the leader of men, is being chosen, because every species has a leader. There's a leader of the bees, the leader of the lion. Beelzebub is the leader of the flies. Are you following me? And up to the year 2000, Panabab Yanun, or Malachi Z. York, was the leader of humanity. But there's another God here. That's what he's been telling you all. And the way it is it's an intellectual race. It's a race about wisdom and information. So just right now, if I lined all of you all up in a straight line behind the tape, and I had another person to fire the shot, and there was an end goal, and the thing is that the race is going to be won not by the fastest physically, but by the one that has the most information, the most intellect, right? And so when the end of the race comes, whoever emerges the wisest amongst us, that will be the leader. You follow me? Because a race physically even is controlled by your mind. Everything is mental. Because anything you can conceptualize, you can visualize, materialize, and thereby actualize. Right? In regard to, like you take two sisters running. One is the champion and has been for quite a while. But another young sister comes up to challenge her, a young lioness. And they're running side by side, and the champion is realizing that this sister's right next to her and keeping pace with her. And she's wondering how long she can maintain her pace, because this younger lioness seems to be challenging her in a way that she's starting to gain on her. Well, I want you all to know that you're only limited by your ability to imagine. So what happens that makes this champion pull out 90% of the time is because she digs down inside of herself and finds another place, another gear, where that when she's running as fast as she can, she runs even faster. You follow me? Because she knows she's the champion and she knows her place. And it's amazing. You know, but they found out, they took a group of athletes, men and women, professional athletes, and they had them do whatever they do, whether they race or whatever, and they set them down in a dark room in a chair, and then they collected electrodes to their brain and all over their body, you know, on their chest and their pulse and etc. And when they told them, they set the equipment to go on and told them, saying, I want you to go back in your mind and memorize very vividly exactly what you did from the start of pistol to the end of the race. And when they close their eyes and reenact in their mind what they did, exactly how they ran and what they felt, how the temperature was, and everything that was going on in their mind while they were running, when they finished the race in their mind and the people turned on the light and read the information on the tapes and the electronic equipment, they were amazed to find that it was identical to the readings that they got from the people as soon as they physically finished the race. There is no difference in what goes on in your mind, what goes on in the world, because the world is a mental projection of what's happening in your mind. Are you following what I'm saying? Everything that's out that you think is out there is within you. The affirmation is revealing when it says, I am in the love of all, and all love is in me. I am a part of all, and all is a part of me. I am one with all, and all is one with me. I can succeed as a part of all and fail as an individual. That's what the devil is. They want to be an individual. I can be all that I wish in all, as long as my wish is to stay in all. I am never alone. All is, I am. All can, I can. All does, I do. You do what? You win. You succeed. I had a special thing I wanted to read to you all. Well, I mean, you all are special to me.
Can I interject while you find that, Amun?
Yes.
I just wanted to say, hey, Jasmine, I would love it if we could get in contact and collaborate a little bit, because I've got a few ideas that I'd like to share. And so if you're in the Telegram group, maybe we could exchange contact through Telegram and connect later.
All right. In regards to?
Oh, yeah, that's fine.
And how to propagate
creating posts, content, propagation. Yeah,
that's good. And another good person for that would be Khufu. You all are familiar with June Khufu, right?
Yeah.
He's already got some stuff made up.
Yeah. His daily work involves working with computers. And what you need to do is get in touch with Khufu. Khufu, you want to give your number over the phone for these people? Khufu, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. What'd you say?
The people that want to contact you
with them
in order to get information about how to propagate the truth at large scale.
Okay. Yeah, those are in the Telegram group. They can always message me directly.
Okay, so I tell you what you all can do.
I'm in touch with
what the ones you want to be. Okay, I tell you what you all can do. You can write my number down, and I'll give you his number personally if you motivated enough to call me. But you can reach me at 215-971-4426, and my personal direct number is 478-454-4004. All right? Well, I'd like to share this with you all. We would have you understand that the flame that you are burns eternally and shall never go out, no matter how bright you allow yourself to become. We shall have you understand that you exist now and always shall, and you always have, because now is the only time, the only place, and the only existence there is, and always has been, and ever shall be. You are eternal. You are infinite. You are spirit. You are body. You are mind. You are heart. You are soul. You are an idea. You are an expression. You are a dream of the infinite creation. But that is reality, and all reality is couched within your dream. You contain it all. You are the whole expression in your own individualized way. You are the matrix. The matrix is you. You are everything. Everything comes from you. Everything gives birth to you as you reinforce the existence of everything and everyone. All that is the infinite creation, the fabric of existence, chose you so that you could exist. Chose you. Consciously chose you. You are in that way, therefore blessed. And we would have you understand that. Simply because of the fact that you exist, you are blessed. For you are created out of divine material, out of divine light. You are the infinite creator, and your existence was a conscious decision, a conscious thing, a conscious choice. Act in like manner. Be of like mind. Respect yourself and others. Love yourselves unconditionally. Pour out of unconditional love were you created, and out of unconditional love shall you create anything you desire. Begin to feel the energy of your interlinking with all consciousness, all civilization, all eyes, all ideas, all minds, all hearts, all souls, all spirits, and you are one within that seed. Know that you are the fabric and the essence of the galactic energy. Not one of you can be removed from the matrix without the collapse of the entire structure. You are intergrown in that way. You are essential in that way. And we would have you understand that because you are interconnected in that way, because everything you do has impact within the entirety of creation, and everything you don't do has likewise impact, that you deserve to exist in this way, and you deserve to be the fullest individual you can imagine yourself to be, that you deserve to manifest all the things you can conceive of, that you deserve the existence you have been given, or it would not have been granted to you, that you deserve all the love you can imagine, because love is what you are made out of, that you deserve all the light you can create in your life, because light is what you are made out of. Feel in the beating of your heart that it keeps pace with the rhythm and the pulse of the spinning of all the galaxies, of the fabric of existence itself, of the universal heart of infinite creation, for you all beat within that heart, and not a one of you is outside that heart. You are the blood and the life force of God itself. It is your life as well. You are it, and it is you. Out of your dreams be born. Out of your heart be alive. Out of your soul be light. For you are nothing else except source. I wanted to share that with you all. So, what is that next question?
I have a question, Messiah.
I'll do my best.
That was awesome.
Early
it's the truth. It couldn't be. There could not be a more profound statement of communication. It is really true.
Okay.
And that you all have to recognize and realize that and raise up to your potential, or as close to it as you can. So if you can imagine yourself meteor rising up to touch the stars, Even if you fall short and only hit the moon, brother, sister, you still out of this world. But if you just stand there with your hands in your pocket, you are nothing and nobody. And there's a grand assembly in the Creator. And in those days, you'll be standing and be looking up at the brothers and sisters that heard and acted upon my words. And you'll be saying inside yourself, I thought he said we were all one. How is he or she way up there and I'm way down here? It's because they acted outside of what was expected of them. They did it's just like the person that wins the race. They practiced hard. They put in the extra effort. They just didn't pop up and they were winning because their name was Diane or Willie. They went the extra mile. They worked to earn that place. And they achieved worldwide acclaim and recognition by their effort. You follow what I'm saying? I'm telling you now that the greatest race that you can win right now is to help us to raise up the 144,000 with everything that's in you, with all your might. Now you're on the universal stage and all eyes are on you. All these different civilizations and interdimensional worlds and realities and galaxies are staring at you all, and they're all betting and taking bets with bated breath as to whether or not you all can pull it off on Earth. And I was sent here to let you know that you have it inside of you just naturally to perform what's natural to you. It's like breathing. Wake up the 144,000. Drop your nets and become the fishers of men. And all your worldly pursuits that you think are so great and you want to set yourself apart from the world, just remember, there have been many business tycoons and executives and entertainers in the world, but those 12 disciples that walked with the Messiah Jesus, like Peter and Andrew and Miriam, who was the head disciple, believe it or not. And yes, she was a whore by profession before she met Jesus, but she was the head of all the disciples. Those names, they were called the sons and thunders of the sons and thunders of righteousness. You follow me? And their names will always be remembered throughout history, just like the name of Jesus. They will never be forgotten because they made their eternal, indelible mark on the fabric of existence itself because they worked to preserve and uplift that very existence. So the noblest thing you could ever do, the noblest pursuit you could ever achieve is to go after helping to raise the 144,000, enlighten the people around you. There's something inherently instilled inside of you where you're all motivated that when you see people, you want to share what you know with them. You really want them to know the truth. Because you know that if they don't ever reach a level of consciousness where they overstand what it is you overstand, you can never have a balanced conversation with them.
Okay.
There's no reasoning when you communicate with unreasonable people. So if you want to join me in this endeavor to raise the consciousness of the entire world, get to work, not tomorrow, but tonight. After this class, join every large group in Facebook, every large group in LinkedIn, every large group in Instagram, and on. Expand your email list. Get out there and start putting these posts up there. Let everybody know the time of these classes, when we'll be in class, when they can ask all the questions they want, just like you. And give them links of the class so they can hear me teach, so they can know what's coming through me to the world. And understand that I'm thinking outside of the box. I'm not trapped inside of persons and places and things. I will do it a little differently. And it's that refreshing, that new thing, the great new wonderful that they're all striving to find. The world is searching for you now, brothers and sisters. Let your name ring and reverberate throughout the creation. Earn the highest seat you can, because that inevitable day will reach you, and the books will be opened, and the question will be asked, what did you do with your time on earth that you were granted? And will there be an uneasy silence? Or will your record speak for itself? Because you've been in the winter of your existence. And again, I'll tell you, it's like you take your child on a walk through a park in the wintertime, and you look at all the bad trees, and your child asks you, Mom and Daddy, what kind of tree is that? What kind of tree is that? And you say, well, I don't know, because they all look the same. But you're in the spring, going into the summer of that time in which all the trees are beginning to bear leaves and fruit. So you can identify every tree by the fruit it bears. And the Most High and His angels and all creation and me and even your higher self are looking at you day and night to see what kind of fruit are you bearing. Will you bear fruit? Will you bear fruit? That's the question. What kind of fruit? How much fruit are you bearing? Your magnitude, if you feel like a queen or a king or a god or a goddess, that'll be reflected in the way that you shake and move. Are you a mover? Are you a shaker? Are you one that sets an indelible mark on the fabric of existence? Are you really powerful? Should you be granted immortality? Can you earn a throne of eternal power that anything you could imagine will be real for you? Do you really deserve to be a god or a goddess? Do you have compassion for your brothers and sisters that are not as awake as you are? These are questions you have to answer. And you can only prove that you understand or overstand the message by wanting to share the message with others. And you won't let anything supersede that or get in your way, because you'll realize what your calling is. As far as the world and everything in it, come out of it, my people. I warn you and I caution you, come out of her. Be ye not partakers of her sins, and therefore share in her punishments. Come out of her, my people. You follow me? Get to working for the Most High and be one with the Most High, in whose image you are created. Wake these people up. Share these posts and this information with millions of people every day. And if you're not sharing it with millions of people, you're just not living up to the moniker of God or goddess. You're just not. You don't want to fade away as another just Negro, because you feel like there's more to you than that. You have a calling. There's that deep inner voice inside of you that tells you that you're different. You know that it's your time. So act on that response and get to work. And next class will be the biggest class we ever had, and the one after that will be even bigger. And we could reach 144,000 easily before 2030, which would be my time to depart with those that'll make it with me. And they'll be judged and earn their tickets by what they do and how many people they reach. Not by self-gratification, thinking to yourself, I got to call every class, so I got to find out more information, because it's me, I. Remember Gabriel and Achmet with the I concept. I did this and I did that. There's the devil. This is about we.
This is hard. I just got it back in class.
Rahubat, and I'm really glad to hear your tone. I was trying to explain to them.
Yeah, I had a customer in the car.
Oh, I follow you. Okay, I was trying to explain to them, that what's essential is we recognize that we are us. We are a we. We are one. And you have to know that there is no us without you. Spell it. There is no us without you. So don't ever forget, do unto your brothers and your sisters as you would unto yourself, because if you become conscious, you realize that you are your brothers and your sisters. So reach out to them. They've been terribly burned and dipped in ignorance and darkness, unconscionable pain. They've lived through things like slavery and all the things that you've experienced and read about in this world. And so their souls are kind of dark and dingy, and they need to be washed off and picked up, because know that until we all win, nobody wins. So go to work and raise them all up. Bring them to class. And don't try to kid us, make us think that it's not in your power to do so, Because I just explained it to you so clearly, it's inescapable. That you have it in your power, you as an individual, you brother, you sister, you can raise the 144,000. You can reach millions every day. So every time we have a small class, know that in a large way, you have failed. Because those of you that want to be wise and gain information, you have to stop majoring in minors. You know, when you go to university, you claim a major, and then you have your minors. You all that are not trying to get this message out to the world are majoring in minors regardless of what the endeavors are. There's nothing more magnificent or great than doing the work of the Most High that created you and all. Let's get her done. Make the classes larger than any classes on the planet, because the information coming through these classes are more profound than any other information on the planet. You know it, and I know it. So start moving. Let's get to work. Okay, what is that next question?
I have a question, Messiah.
I'll do my best.
Okay, that night I called you. It was about a week ago. I seen the mystery cloud. It was clear as day. I see the mystery cloud in the sky, like soaring past me, but it's so clear. It didn't look like a regular cloud. Can you give more insight on that?
Yeah, what it is that a lot of things that you all see that you think of as clouds, but they act or look like crabs. What it is that there are a lot of interdimensional beings. For example, I've been in my room and people sitting in the rocket chair next to me, and if they were negative people, I see a mist being moving between us. And I raise up and say, "Are you smoking?" And they say, "Now you know I don't smoke." And then I realize what it is. It's one of the 24 elders, interdimensional beings that are coming and trying to reverse the polarity from negative to positive, to turn that negative thought into positive thought. Now, in regards to crabs that you see, Malachi Z. York wrote a book called Mystery Clouds, and it's a good reading. What it means simply is that, let me repeat this so that you learn how to repeat it. When you take a simple substance like water, H2O, at room temperature, it's a liquid affected by gravity. If you tilt the glass, it'll fall to the floor. Pour it in a container and slip that into the freezer. That freezer will slow down the vibrations, and the molecules will create the illusion of a solid like bones and teeth. You call it ice. And notice the temperature is also very cold, devoid of that heat, right? But if you take that same ice and put it on the pot and you turn that fire on as high as it'll go, it'll first convert that hard, cold ice into a liquid you call water. And then after it completely melts in a supply of water, it'll start gradually heating up, and it'll agitate that water. It'll agitate the waters, and it'll start vibrating faster and turning faster and faster till that liquid converts into a spirit that you call steam, right? Or ghostly form that you call a cloud or steam. That spirit and that energy will keep, as long as that heat is rising, and you'll know that the difference between the steam and the ice and the water is it's not affected by gravity. It only ascends. It goes one direction. It goes up. And that's how angels or people ascend up Jacob's ladder. And if you keep the fire on long enough, and I ask you what's in the pot, you say nothing's in there, Amun. There's no ice, steam, or water. The pot is empty. There's nothing in there. But you can't get nothing from something. So it's only energy in transit. So it's that ice and water that's converted into ether. So it's not any longer part of this physical realm. And that's what happens to you as an enigma. When I tell you that you're a physical being, and then I put your soul, your spirit, your personality, your imagination, your memories and thoughts in another chair, and I say that's the real you, and you say, but how? I can't see anything. I don't know whether I'm black, white, a man, or a woman. I don't have any physical composition. Well, neither does God. God is not part of this physical realm, and that's how you are created in His image and likeness. It's because God doesn't reside on lower physical planes like ice or something like that. He doesn't drop down in an undignified state where He can be affected by gravity or cold or have a time, be born or die or have a disease, because your spirit can never get sick. It can never get lonely or hungry. You follow what I mean? So understand this. When you're talking about going to the new heaven and the new earth, how can you possibly do that when it says that there'll be no more hunger, no more thirst, no more sickness, no more death, for the former things will have what? Passed away, right? Well, that means that you're going to raise up in vibration to a spiritual consciousness. And now ask yourself, when has your spirit gotten sleepy or hungry or sick? And the truthful answer will be never. So nobody can shoot your spirit. It's not physical. So you're going to have to shift to a physical whole light being. And for those of you that labor under the misconception because of cartoons and what have you, I don't want to be a spiritual being. You already are. It's nothing unnatural that you have to become or die. Spirit, you don't become spiritual after you die. You never stop being spiritual. When you have dreams and you see yourself in another reality that you never experienced before with another person you never met, have you ever felt that you were less than whole? Did you ever feel like you was missing a leg or something? No, you felt just like you do right now, because you are a whole light being. So don't fear things that you don't understand. Walk with me, and I'll remove all these unnecessary fears from you. Open the door and step into the great new paradigm, the great new wonderful with me. It's heaven time, family. It's time to stop getting old and stop dying and being worried about being shot or hit or sick or catching COVID or AIDS or anything. You got to remove these mortal fears from yourself. You were created to be a divine being. You once were on the heavenly ethers. And where you come from in your long home, there was no time or death. You were never cold or too hot or hungry. You never had any fears of anything. Return to that majestic divine state again. It's time. And those of you that refuse to do it will be left behind, unfortunately. But it won't be because of lack of effort on my part or my disciples that are with me and are with me in sincerity, that really give all they can to raising up this and propagating this class. But the ones that think they're so personally important and they don't have time and they got, they ass on their shoulders, those will be the very ones that are going to be left behind and fall behind in their own trap, trapped in the mud of their own flesh, believing that they're important and big, instead of going out and proving it each and every day by raising up their brothers and sisters. They magnify their own existence. You follow me? You've been given the opportunity to be something greater than a president, a God, greater than the angels. You prove that by being in the image and likeness of the Most High. Go out and don't let anything get in your way of propagating the truth that you've been blessed to receive. Wake up your brothers and sisters with everything that's in you. Propagate this truth. Let them know the times and dates of these classes and give them links, powerful links that you enjoy. Make sure you share them with them. All right, who has that next question?
Yeah, Amun.
Yes.
I just wanted to let you know that there's a new sister in the class today.
Well, what is her name?
Hey, my name is Roshana.
Roshana? Everybody welcome Roshana home to class.
Welcome home. Welcome, Roshana. Much love and light. Welcome. Love you.
All right, Roshana, do you have any questions right now? Just think of anything that you would like to know.
Not right now, but as I continue to listen now, I'm sure I'll have something.
All right. Are you Christian by any chance?
I was raised Christian.
Like all of us.
Yeah. So I'm finding my own way and my own spirituality right now.
That's what you have to do. You have to go within yourself and seek for the truth, and not confirmation of our already preconceived erroneous beliefs. We need the facts, not the faith. Okay.
Agree.
All right. Next question. And sister, tonight, I want you to know that you're going to perform a miracle tonight. You're going to move anything you see in the sky, stars or the moon. You have that inherent ability. That way, you can be sure to know exactly where you are and who you're walking with, okay?
Okay.
I am not Reverend Rib, Deacon Pork Chop, or Pastor Fried Chicken, please. No. All right?
All right.
All right, who has that next question?
No, I just have something. I just have something to say real quick. I'm on.
Okay, go ahead.
I did make a post today, and my sister Vet has been in class, but she's only spoke once. But she's been here for over a month now.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. And is she here right now?
She should be, Vet.
Vet, are you here?
Vet. I'm going to text her. I don't know.
Okay, because we want to thank her for being in class and let her know she's very, very welcome back home. All right. I think it's important for me to shine a light on the Christian belief that we were all raised under, and ask you some very serious questions on the way. Number one, where do you think that you were from geographically, your soul seed, your race, original race, where you were from? What continent were you from, say, 500 years ago? Who can answer that?
Africa.
That's right, Africa. So when you were an African in Africa, did you speak English at all?
No.
Okay. Did you know what white people looked like when you were in your home country in Africa with your original tribes?
No.
Were you a Christian?
No.
Or a Muslim?
No.
Or a Buddhist?
No.
Did you have access to the Holy Bible, the King James Bible, or the Quran, or the Aptahashis, or any of these scriptures?
No.
Okay. So when were you introduced to Christianity and the white man and the English language?
Slavery.
That's right. When he brought you over the Middle Passage, and many men and women died on the trip, you were brought over here and you were enslaved. And you were treated like less than animals. In fact, he identified you as only 3/4 human. The rest, you were like a bovine or cattle or something like that, and he treated you that way. The reason he had to do that is because when his own children and people would ask him, why are you treating these people like that? He had to look at them and tell them, they're not really people. They're animals. And I can treat them like any other animal, any property that I have. The only way he could justify that is to lie on you. And that was a successful lie. And then he indoctrinated you with his religion, Christianity, which is 2 words. It really means anti-Christ. And when you look up the Willie Lynch papers, you all should, if you're serious about finding the truth, look up the Willie Lynch papers. And he'll tell you exactly how he created a slave. But you know, everything that he told you about God was a white man and Jesus was white, it made your senses revolt inside. Even though you know that we're not physical and God's not black or white or man or a woman, the fact is that he put a color on God. But let's look at the attributes of God. Isn't it he described as being omnipresent? What does that mean, somebody?
It means you're everywhere at the same time.
Everywhere.
Everywhere.
He's
all over.
everywhere at the same time. Could a man fit that description? Yes or no?
No.
No, a man can't be everywhere at the same time. So as far as their picture of God in the Bible as an old white man with a beard, that's fallacy. You know from logic on the face of it that that's a lie. The next question is, what color is existence? Infinity. The vast black.
Black.
So we know that if God was a man, he couldn't be white, but he can't be a man because he doesn't fit the first description. He is definitely not omnipresent. So not only could he not be a man, but he can't definitely be a white man. But let's just lend ourselves to ignorance for a minute. We're going to walk on the dark side and say that God was a white man and created a white Adam. And then they took a white Eve out of just one of his ribs. Now, you got to try to stretch your imagination to believe that a whole woman can be made out of one rib of a man. But let's just pretend like we're children. And that happened. Okay, so now we got a white Adam and a white Eve. And now they made white sons. Well, where did their wives come from?
And where did we come from?
Well, one thing as far as black people, we wouldn't exist because everybody knows scientifically that white people cannot make black people.
Right.
But of course, is it possible for black people to make white people? That's the question.
Yes, it is. Albino.
And albinism is proof of that. And albino is proof that we can make them. So you can, from out of the darkness came the light. So it stands to reason that Adam and Eve had to be black because there's black people in the world. And if they're black and created the image and likeness of God, he had to be black as well. So we got to forget these childish things that we used to believe and grow up and get in tune with the reality of the situation. And these are the things that the FBI and the CIA are desperately trying to keep out of the world. Their priority, their main agenda is to prevent the rise of a black messiah that can electrify and stimulate the masses, the consciousness of the masses. Well, it's the Creator's will that we do this.
Today.
Say it again.
I put that in my. I said I put that. It's ironic that you said that because I did put that in my post earlier.
I love you.
I have a spiritual experience I just experienced.
Go ahead, sister.
So I was just walking outside just now, and I had looked up at the stars, and I just saw, like, it looked like, again, I said this before, it was like a green dot. It was pretty small, and I saw it moving, like, kind of fast, and then it just, like, disappeared in the...
That could be your own higher self. But are you still outside?
I can right now.
You can?
Yeah, I'm outside right now.
All right. Then you're going to perform a miracle right now. And I would ask the new sister if she would step outside, please, right now and look at the sky.
She's about to put a
Wait, Amun, you said if you see a green, what did you just say? You said I just saw my higher
There's
self?
no gas that burns green.
So that was kind of like me?
It could be you, or it could be one of your family members from on high.
Oh, wow.
All right? Now, Jasmine, where you are you looking up? Do you see the star, a star over your head? What about the new sister, Andrew? Is she where she can see a star?
Yeah, I see a star over my head.
Okay. Well, the new sister, can you see the stars too?
Well, we're on a train. We can't really see anything.
Oh, I see what you mean. All
yes,
right.
I can see a star now.
All right. I'm going to make that star move to the left in the name of the Messiah, Amun-Rayay. Move left. Now, Yes, it's moving. And I really love when people describe
it's
what they
moving.
see.
Look, I see it.
Huh?
I'm sorry. I said, yes, I see it starting to move left. I see it.
Oh, I love you. Okay, it's going to move up now in the name of the Messiah.
Walk down here.
It's moving up a little.
Yes,
I
it is
see
moving
up. Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
All right, now drop down in the name of Amun-Rayay.
It's dropping.
Yes.
Yeah, it's dropping.
That's right. Now go in a circle clockwise in the name of the Messiah.
Oh my gosh.
Just pick up.
Yeah.
Clockwise circle.
You can just pick up.
Now come closer to the sister in the name of the Messiah.
Moving closer.
Yeah.
Moving forward.
Now move back out.
Moving back out.
Yes.
Yeah, it is.
Yes, it is. I want you all to know that there's nothing that I do that you can't do. In fact, one day man, that means woman, will do greater things than I. So let's work toward that goal and waking up our brothers and sisters. Because wherever two or more are gathered, all things are possible. Don't ever forget that. All right? Who's going to be next? Who sees the moon out there? And I'll put your face in it.
Oh, I don't see no moon. Yeah, I don't see the moon.
All right. Who sees another star anywhere?
I see the star.
I do. This is the new.
Okay, that's you who are in Chicago?
I'm here, bro.
Wait a minute. Who said I see a star?
I did. A new kid.
I do.
Okay, well, I'm going to move the whole creation for all of you. All the stars and planets and moon, the whole creation. Move to the left in the name of Amun-Rayay.
It's going to the left already.
Yeah, it is.
Moving left, Troy.
All creation. Move back to the right in the name of the Messiah.
Moving back right.
Moving right.
All creation, raise up in the name of Amun-Rayay.
Going up.
Raising up.
Raising up.
All creation, drop down in the name of the Messiah.
Dropping down.
Everything's
Dropping down.
Dropping down.
Yeah, sister said, damn. Yeah, that's right.
No, I
But it's
said
not.
that.
It's a blessing. It is a blessing. That's what it is. Now, for those of you that have your Bibles, let's walk through some of this Bible content and see what it is the white man has taught us. Well, he's programmed us. What did he beat into us? Let's figure that out. I'm waiting till you all can get to your Bibles. Did y'all see these stars? You see any move yet, Terry? Okay. Is it clear out there? Okay, I'll take you out there and do it tonight. All right. I have a brother that's visited me, one of my students from over 30 years ago in New Orleans, Terry Handy. He's here with me now. and he's going to perform his first miracles tonight after class. All right. We've come a long way, baby. We have come a long way.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Let me see. Lucas, it's another book there without a cover. All right, who has the King James Bible in their hand?
I do.
All right, then look up Acts chapter 7, and then hold your finger on that while you look up Joshua chapter 24. Let's establish if this is the pristine word of God, yes or no. Thank you. Acts chapter 7, verse 16.
Mm-hmm.
That's you, Andrew?
No, I'm getting there still.
Okay. Acts chapter 7, verse 16, and then Joshua 24, 32.
There.
All right. Now, I'll read Acts 7, Holy Bible. Abraham bought land for a sepulcher. That's what the Holy Bible says. Mute your phones. Star 6 your phones. Acts 7:16. And were carried over into Shechem and laid in the sepulcher that Abraham bought. Right? That Abraham bought for a sum of money of the sons of Emer, the father of Shechem. So if the Bible says that Abraham bought the sepulcher for a sum of money from the sons of Emer, the father of Shechem. So let's go to Joshua 24. Let me know when you're there.
I'm there.
All right. And the bones of Joseph, which the children of Israel brought up out of Egypt, buried they in Shechem, and a parcel of ground which Jacob bought of the sons of Hamor, the father of Shechem, for 100 pieces of silver, and becomes the inheritance of the children of Joseph. So that's, is the Bible lying in Acts or in Joshua? A contradiction is a sweet way to say a lie. The Bible is lying. Because either Abraham bought the parcel of land for a sum of money from the sons of Hamor, the father of Shechem, or Jacob bought it. Now, which one is telling the truth? You got to follow it. Joshua 24:32. So just go back and forth between those two until you decide to acknowledge the facts in your mind that the Bible is lying. It's not the word of God. It's the word of white men that placed themselves at the Council of Nicaea and it was also derived from a play by Italian actors called the Josephus Flavius Piso's family. Right? It's not factual. It's not the word of God. It's, you know, and they taught people to have faith. Say it again.
That was from the Nicene. Was that from the Nicene Council?
Say it again.
Was it from the Nicene Council?
Yeah, well, it was from white people, regardless of when they did it. It could have been placed in a motel by the Gideons. It's just the white man has changed the book to suit for his benefit.
Okay.
To create the illusion that he's God and this and that and the other. You understand? Another thing is how did the white man teach you to pray? He told you to get on your knees and to look up, put your hands together at the sky autonomously, looking up at the sky, right? When you pray. Isn't that right? The way he taught you to pray? You, as children, used to kneel by your bed and put your hands, clasp your hands, and look up at the sky and pray to God. Well, let's see what the Holy Bible says about that. Go to Matthew 26, somebody else 39, 26, 39. Matthew, somebody else go to Numbers 20, verse 6. And somebody else go to Genesis 17, 3. Who has Matthew 26, 39?
I have a quick question.
Yeah, I don't want to be distracted off this line. Go ahead.
Did they change the spelling of the town? And
well, it doesn't make any difference because it was never in English anyway. Just like the name Jesus, there's no J in Hebrew.
Okay, I got
so there's no need in whether they changed it from one lie to another because the first one was a lie. There's no English translation of the cuneiform tablets, the Atrahasis, the Numeral Elish, Gilgamesh epics, and all that. That's where they got all this information that they call the Holy Scripture. Well, from the tablets brought down by the Anunnaki. All right, Matthew 26, 39. Who's there?
I'm there.
All right. Matthew 26, 39 says, speaking to Jesus, and he went a little further and fell on his face and prayed. That's like the Muslims do, saying, "Oh, my Father, if it be possible, let this cup pass from me. Nevertheless, not as I will, but as thou wilt." So anybody sincere, write down Matthew 26, 39 till they can get to a Bible. Now, who's got Numbers 20, verse 6? I'm telling you, if you're serious and you're not just playing with information, if you're really trying to wake up and learn to wake up others, write down these verses. Numbers 20, verse 6. Who's there? Who's there? And Moses and Aaron went from the, listen to me, and Moses and Aaron went from the presence of the assembly unto the door of the tabernacle of the congregation, and they fell upon their faces, and the glory of the sustainer appeared unto them. So how did Moses and Aaron pray? Class?
Like the Muslims fell on their faces.
They fell on their face and prayed. Now go to Genesis 17:3. Mute your phones. Somebody else go to Nehemiah 8:6. Genesis 17:3, hold that place, and then go to Nehemiah 8:6. Let's see how Abraham prayed before Moses. Who's at Genesis 17:3?
Yeah.
There.
And Abram fell on his face. Is that right?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. That's not the way Christians teach you. All right, now Nehemiah 8:6. Who's there?
I'm there.
Let's see who else is there. Who else is in Nehemiah 8:6?
I'm there.
We need all of those looking for the truth to really walk with me. Okay, Nehemiah 8:6 and Ezra. Let's see how Ezra prayed. And Ezra blessed the Lord, the great God. And all the people answered, Amen, Amen, with lifting of their hands. And they bowed their heads and worshiped the Lord with their faces to the what?
Ground.
With their faces to the ground. That's not Christianity, that's Islam.
That's Islam.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Now go to 1 Kings 18:42. I'm just showing you they lying. 1 Kings 18:42 and Joshua 5:14. 1 Kings 18:42 and Joshua 5:14.
I'm there.
All right.
I'm there.
I want to see some more people that's there.
I'm there also.
What was it?
All right. Okay, let's see. Let's see how Elijah prayed. So Ahab went up to eat and to drink, and Elijah went up to the top of Carmel, and he cast himself down upon the earth and put his face between his knees. So how did Elijah pray?
Face down.
That's right. Now Joshua 5:14. Let's see how Joshua prayed. Joshua 5:14.
I'm there.
I'm here.
I'm there.
All right.
I'm here.
Joshua 5:14. And he said, Nay, but as captain of the host of the Lord am I now come. And Joshua fell on his face to the earth and did pray. Right or wrong?
That's right.
Yeah, true.
Right.
But now, how are Christians, so who's lying, the Muslims or the Christians in regard to how to pray?
Christians.
The Christian.
That's right. That's right. And they raised us up to believe, these lies.
Wow.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Hey, that's the word of God. Niggas will tell you that's the word of God. No, it's not. It's the word of white people.
Wow. I said it was some Christians.
Yeah, right. And then you go to let's go to the 12 disciples. Now, would you believe that many of the disciples that you thought were disciples were not? You go to Matthew 10, 2 through 4. Matthew 10, 2 through 4.
Okay.
You there already, huh? Good.
I'm there.
There, I'm.
Well, you know, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Luke and Mark, they were not disciples. Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Matthew chapter 10, verse 2. Now the names of the 12 disciples are these. The first was Simon, who was called Peter. And the second was Andrew, his brother. The third was James, the son of Zebedee. And the fourth was John, his brother. The fifth was Philip. The sixth was Bartholomew, Thomas. Thomas was the seventh, and Matthew the eighth. Matthew the publican, and James 9, son of Alphaeus, and Levius, whose surname was Thaddeus, 10, Simon the Canaanite, 11, and Judas Iscariot was the 12th. Where is Luke and all of Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John? Where they at?
Wow. Wow.
I'm telling you, this ain't no small lie, it's a big lie.
That's a big lie.
It's a real big one.
So Matthew, so the person
Who is Matthew the publican?
Which Matthew is the publican?
Well, it doesn't matter, because if you describe it, it's still going to be a name, just like your name, that will be remembered for all times. And Andrew, these people will be remembered for all times, just like Jesus, because they walk with him. And you can believe they have heavenly seats. I can tell you what they didn't tell you about the disciples. Jesus raised them up to have power like him. Many of them raised the dead and fed the hungry and healed in the name of the Most High. Did you know that? No, they didn't tell you that, because they didn't want you to know that people, men and women, could achieve that station. They wanted just one white man in your mind that could do everything. And the whole concept of Christianity is the devil. Because what they're trying to tell you is that the white man, the Romans, were so powerful that they could kidnap, torture, and kill the Son of God. And when you first heard that story as a child, your senses revolted. You were saying to yourself, that can't be. Because I'm not God, but I wouldn't let nobody do that to my son.
Right.
So they killed the Son of God, right? Regardless if he raised up again in 3 days. The point is, Lazarus, that you talking about a being that had the power to raise the dead, that they killed him? That don't make sense to you?
It doesn't.
No, it doesn't. But there are many things about this so-called reality that you're going to find out that doesn't make sense. Okay, and there's a lot of things changed in the Holy Bible. If you go to Jeremiah 24:2, and then you're going to find out that the word was bad. It's now changed to naughty figs. Genesis, write them down. Genesis 40, verse 1. Write them down. The word cupbearer was changed into butler. Lamentations 4:3. Jackals turned into sea monsters. Romans 8:24. Patience turned into hope. Isaiah 45:14 says there is no God. And then it's been changed from there is no other God. Right?
Right.
I can go on and on, you know. King James, Psalms 47:2. Awesome. It used to be terrible. Ezekiel 26:17. Inhabited. Was hunted. Numbers 23:22. An ox that was a unicorn. Galatians 3:28. Gentile. Turned to Greek. Now, why did they change? They changed the word Gentile, trying to get it out the Bible. Because people are waking up to the word Gentile. There's the Jews and Gentile. The Jews were the godly people, the human beings, and the Gentile were the beasts of the field. Gentile were unlettered wild beasts, the Gentile. But in Islam, we know that the devil is, in Islam, we know the devil is the jinn, right? That's the white people. And then when you go to a concert looking for the Gentile, the man will step out with a three-piece suit on and tails and spats. The spats are like hooves, cloven hooves. Look at the spats. And he's got tails that he flipped where he sit on his bench. Why is he wearing tails? A man. Why is he wearing tails? And he looks at the audience and he said, ladies and what? Gentile. and he calls himself the gentry. You've been looking for the devil, there he is. So now they're trying to get the word Gentile out of the Bible. You understand?
Wow.
And all the prophets were black. All of them. When you look up Job 30:30, Jeremiah 8:21, the Song of Solomon, chapter 1, verse 5 and 6. Look not upon me, for I am comely, but black, as the tents of Kedar. Look not upon me, for the sun is shone upon me. Job 30:30, my skin is black upon me, my bones are burned with heat. Jeremiah 8:21, of the daughter of my people, I am black. I am black.
And Jesus black also.
That's right. Jesus was black in Revelation. The description was the hair of a lamb's wool, eyes of many fire. His feet shone from under his robe, and they were the color of burnt brass. Nappy head, red eyes, black brother. Acts 13 tells you that Jesus and Mary were niggers. Yes. And if you go to Numbers chapter 11, I need somebody to go there and read. Numbers chapter 11. Whoever reads loud and clear.
Okay.
Go ahead, read loud and clear.
Verse 1?
You go read Numbers chapter 11. All of it.
And then
it's not long.
Complained and displeased the Lord.
No, you're going to chapter 11. Okay. Or is it 12?
12, okay. Chapter 12?
Yeah, read that.
And Miriam and Aaron.
That's right. Numbers chapter 12. Read that.
And Miriam and Aaron spake against Moses because of the Ethiopian women whom he had married. For he had married an Ethiopian woman. And they said, hath the Lord indeed spoken only by Moses?
In other words, they were older than him and they were jealous and asking him, are you trying to say the Lord was speaking to you and not to us? Go ahead.
Hath he not spoken also by us?
Has he not spoken all this? Do you mean he ain't talking to us too? Nigga, you making up stuff. Go ahead.
And the Lord heard it.
And the Lord heard it. That conversation, yeah. Go ahead.
Now the man, Moses, was very meek.
He
above
was
all
meek.
the men.
Above all the men of the earth. And he's probably meek again because he's back in the world now. He's going to walk with me. Go ahead.
Above all the men which were upon the face of the earth. And the Lord spake suddenly unto Moses and unto Aaron and unto Miriam, come out ye three unto the tabernacle of the
He called them all to the carpet. He called all three of them, Miriam, Aaron, and Moses, to come out on the carpet in the tabernacle.
And they three came out. And the Lord came down in the pillar of the cloud and stood.
He was like a cloud or a mist. You see what I mean when I'm telling you about the water? All right. He came down in a mist. Okay. A cloud. Go ahead.
And stood in the door of the tabernacle and called Aaron and Miriam, and they both came forth.
And now he didn't single them out. They got that big mouth right there.
And he said, hear now my words.
Hear now my words. That's right.
Well, if there be a prophet among you, I, the Lord, will make myself known unto him in a vision.
Now you said, if there be a prophet among you, I, my Lord, myself will make myself visible to him in a vision. Not to you, but to him. Go ahead.
And will speak unto him in a dream.
And will speak to him in a dream. Not to you niggas, to him.
My servant Moses is not so.
Then he said, that was a question. That means the way they spoke back then, the biblical language, is not my servant Moses. So, you know, it's not, do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah,
that wasn't a negative
exactly
affirmation. He was saying, isn't it so that my servant Moses is that kind of a meek being that I would make myself appear to and speak to openly?
Who is faithful in all mine house. That's what you just said.
Yes.
With him will I speak mouth.
With him will I speak mouth to mouth.
Even apparently.
Even apparently. Like I told you, I went to the throne. That's right. Even apparently. 3 Mims.
And not in dark speeches.
And not in dark speeches. But it would be clear. One-on-one.
And the similitude of the Lord shall he behold.
And the similitude of the Lord shall he behold. Because even in his high station, even Moses was not going to see him in his true form. Nobody can. But in the similitude of the Lord, he will behold. He'll see him on a throne in his essence or something like that. You understand? And definitely hear his voice and his words. Go ahead.
Wherefore then were ye not afraid to speak against my servant Moses?
And he was asking Aaron and Miriam, what's the matter? You niggas wasn't afraid to talk against my servant Moses? Like black reptiles try to disparage me in this class or say something negative. They wasn't afraid.
And the anger of the Lord was kindled against them.
And the anger of the Lord was kindled against them like fire, and he departed.
And the cloud departed from off the tabernacle. And behold, Miriam became leprous, white as snow. And Aaron looked upon Miriam.
Now, in anger of the Lord, is he going to bless her or curse her?
That sounds like a curse to me.
That's right. So when you see somebody that's white as snow, are they blessed or cursed?
They cursed right there.
That's right.
Cursed.
And guess what? As meek as Moses was, he was the first one to drop down on the ground on his face and start praying to God. Oh, please don't punish them, because they don't know what you know. Go ahead, read on.
Okay. Let me keep going. And behold, Miriam became leprous, white as snow. And Aaron looked upon Miriam, and behold, she was leprous. And Aaron said unto Moses, At last, my Lord, I beseech thee, lay not the sin upon us, wherein we have done foolishly, and wherein we have sinned.
He took the burden of sin on himself that they committed against him. And he was saying, Lord, don't punish us where we have done foolishly. Please.
So hold on, let me ask you this question right here, before I even read any more. Because this is... All right, so... Was he wrong for that?
Was she wrong?
Was he wrong?
She was wrong as 2 left shoes.
No, was he wrong for taking their sin?
No, he was just compassionate and divine love and unconditional love. He forgave them, was begging the Most High to forgive them too, and not to curse them with leprosy. He had laid it on her. You're going to walk off and leave her like that. Right.
Did they still like that or they changed?
Yeah, they're still white. Yeah. But they still evil. And they still lying. Denying the reality of the Most High. They refuse, not so blind as he or she who refuses to see. They're stubborn in their rebellion. And so when they return to sin, he returns to chastisement. He won't lift it until they beg forgiveness and stop bullshitting. Go ahead.
Let her not be as one dead.
So what he said about being white and leprous is that's like somebody dead.
Yeah.
Moses begging the Most High, please don't let her be as one dead.
Of whom the flesh is half consumed when.
Of whom the flesh is half consumed.
When he cometh
that's
out
what
of his
that
mother's
is.
womb. And Moses cried unto the Lord, saying, heal her now, O God.
You see, now he was crying unto the Lord, saying, heal her now, this dreadful curse, this disease of leprosy, leproma.
She was black at first.
She was black, yeah. Yeah, she was black and human, and he cursed her as the beast. Because what I mean by the beast, they call, you ever heard about white folks call somebody a black monkey?
Yeah.
Yeah. But let's analyze that. The monkey got nappy hair, or does he have fur? He got fur like white people? And if you shave the monkey or the dog or the cat or any animal, what color is their skin?
White.
It's white. Pink. Leprosy. Right? Look at the eyes. You can see through them like cats and birds and dogs. Don't they have them bugs all over them? And they have hirsutism. They have fur all over their bodies.
That's right.
But see, they lie to you talking about a black cat. You mean a black furred cat. A cat is like any other animal, it's white. So only man has dominion over the earth. You are the only black beings that walk the earth with a crown on your head. It's kingly hair, not kinky. And those what you call naps, that's a crown. You are the soul of the earth.
The white people is the cursed people.
They are the cursed people, of course. Yeah. White people are the cursed. The Anunnaki had two factions of angelic beings. They had the seraphim and the cherubim. There was two species in heaven that have incarnated on earth as the two races, black and white. You know who the cherubim are. You know the white people are the cherubim. Look at all the world wars, who started them? Where the slavery and all these injustices come from?
White people.
But they do like they do in the Bible. They try to make out that the United States is the most peaceful and loving and giving. They try to make out what they do is the devil's work in God's name. Do you understand? I'm here to wake you up.
Doing a good job.
Yeah. So read on.
Where was we at? And the Lord said unto Moses, if her father had but spit
in her face,
in her face, should she not be ashamed 7 days?
That's right. So let me tell you, back then they had sweat lodgers. They made them out of clay brick. And any lepers, the Levitical priest would lock them up in that cursed place. And that leprosy, while it was spreading, until it went from the ball of their feet to the crown of their head, it was a live leprosy, and anybody getting around them could catch it. But once it reached the top of their head and the bottom of their feet, they were pronounced clean. They were still white, but they couldn't spread it by touch. But that leprosy was so hot, it used to make the goddamn bricks sweat. It take a lot of heat to burn melanin off a person until they just white. It take a lot of goddamn heat to do that. And once they were pronounced clean, they could come out and rejoin the people. But they would have to burn them and sweat ladders down. You can't do nothing else with them because that leprosy is in the bricks. Have you all ever seen, and your child was a black man or woman, with that big pink spot on their arm and on their face or something? You seen that, Terry?
Yeah, I've seen it.
Well, then y'all said, okay, next time you see them, it's got a little bigger and bigger until the whole hand and arm was white.
Yeah.
That's a live fretting leprosy right there. It's spreading. It's fretting. It's a fretting leprosy. That's right. But when it's spread over the whole body, and they got nowhere else to spread, then you can touch them. They clean. That's a clean leper. They can go among people again. But that's where you can see black people that have done something bad and got cursed, and they turn it white in front of your face.
It's contagious too?
Yeah, it can be contagious when it's fretting, yeah.
Wow. Cool.
Yeah. Yeah. That's right. But I take by your silence that many of you all are shocked by the reality. And I'm not here to shock you, only to wake you up. Huh?
I mean, I've been wondering about it, if it was something that was still happening to folks.
It is. I just told you it is, right?
Yeah.
Did I just show you in your own experience? Don't you remember that? Seeing people with them big white spots on them?
Yeah.
That's right. They're morphing in front of your face. The Creator's cursing them in real time. That's right. And as far as the black monkey and all that, right now, the hunky is the monkey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I believe it's a disease called syphilis. That's like that.
So, what's the difference between people that are just born with like birthmarks that are discolored and
well, if it's a birthmark,
actively
let me tell you, if it's a birthmark, then it won't expand. It won't keep growing.
Oh. Right on.
But if it keeps growing, then it is a curse.
So has anyone ever heard of
what they call it? Don't matter because the white man making it up.
Albinus?
It is albino. White people are cursed white in their presence. Black people are cursed white in their presence. A black mother and a black father and the child is born white. And they can't stand to see the sun or nothing. It's just leprosy. White people lived in the caves for 600 years. They couldn't come out. They couldn't stand to be in it or look at it. And they were cursed for 600 years and placed in the caves under Turkey. Now, them pictures that you see when they brought them up to the Caucasus Mountains is that they were the end of their genetic strain. And they couldn't become no weaker, no more mutated, no whiter. And that means when they had sex, they still couldn't have babies because they were not had no more salt. They had lost their savor. So white men used to get advanced and roam down the mountains and raid Nubian villages, kill the boys and men, and grab the black women by their hair and drag them. You see them cartoon pictures of a white caveman in a bear skin with a club, and he had a woman by the hair dragging her?
Right, I saw that.
That's white men running down the mountains, grabbing Nubian women and dragging them up the mountain so they could rape them, to give power to their seed again so they could reproduce. But it had a twofold effect. When they left all the white women in the mountains, they didn't stop having sex. They turned to dogs and jackals, and they gave birth to these beasts. That's why white people look up right now, people with tails on the computer. Just look it up, people with tails and too many nipples. Look it up. And you'll see them. That's why the dog is his best friend.
Yes, indeed.
So this man's best, no, it's your best friend. And dog backwards is God to them. And they at war with the Most High, because when they do wrong, you don't beat them or curse them. You understand? So no matter how they treat people, you're supposed to love them and don't hurt them. Even though they're hurting everybody and putting people in hell.
Yeah, that ain't right.
No, it's not. But they'll get mad if you curse them. So they're at war with God and they're at war with the truth. And they don't want to see it or accept it. So what they do, they take the curse of being white and they make it into a beauty mark. They say they fair-skinned and they beautiful. That's what they do. And trick black people into being ashamed that they got kingly hair and black skin. At the same time, they running out to the beach and putting on, trying to get copper tone. They want, and we know what they call a penny is. They want to be brown, tall, dark, and handsome. But at the same time, they want to make you feel envious because you're not white and cursed and leprous, and make you be ashamed of you being black in the image and likeness of all existence, of all. While they inject lips to make them big and they butt out to have a butt like, they want to be you. They want to get it permanent, but it's temporary, isn't it? It don't really last.
Yeah.
It should not a permanent, it should be called a temp.
Yes, indeed.
Because it's going to still flop back into that same dog mange. When you look at a horse's ass, think of a white girl's ponytail. You see it? They don't have feet. They don't have hands. They got paws. How you doing, Paul? You mean daddy, don't you? When they walk in soft mud, you can see they got 5 toes and the 2 lumps in the front and the heel mark. But the rest of it is not there. They call it a high arch. If I was standing on tree branches for thousands of years, I'd have a high arch too. And they call you a flat-foot nigger. The ground flat, goddammit, what the fuck? That's a paw mark, man. Look it up. They got too many nipples. When you want to get down into it, you can type in white. You can type in what they call in human beings DNA compared to chimpanzee DNA, and you find out that they got 98.6% chimpanzee DNA. They ain't just the monkey's uncle, they a goddamn monkey. When they landed on the moon, they said, this is another small step for man because you the man. But it was a giant leap for mankind.
Right.
Because the monkey ain't never been to the moon. Y'all stop me when I'm lying. Or you have questions?
Oh, you're not lying.
No, I'm not.
I have a question.
I'll do my best.
What is the difference between the apostles and disciples?
There's not a lot of difference because the disciples were named apostles after the more they emerged and woke up, they were called the apostles. You understand? The apostle Peter, the apostle Andrew. And the difference between an apostle and a prophet is this. A prophet receives direct revelation from the Most High. But the apostle teaches the exact same message as the prophet, except he gets his information from the prophet and not directly like Moses from the Creator.
Gotcha.
So anybody that hears what I say and go and teach it just like me, they are an apostle of the Most High. Follow me?
Yes.
And they'll cease being a nigger. But they'll have a high rank in the grand assembly of the Creator. And the other things don't matter. You make yourself a rich president and all that, because every second that passes from the time of birth, you get further from birth and closer to death. Why would you invest all your creative ability in a temporary reality when you know that this all ends up with death? Let me repeat. All of you are facing that inevitable clock. And when it's time to go to that mortician, when he puts that embalming fluid in you, it burns worse than any fire. And you're going to scream and scream, but nobody can hear it. when they march you down in that casket and drop you in that hole. Everybody you imagine that loves you, that you think is there, they're only there temporary. As soon as they get hungry, have to use the bathroom, all you're going to hear is footsteps walking away from you. I don't care how much you think they love you. Even your dog will lay on your grave longer than the people who stay there. And all they're going to be arguing about on the way home is who going to get what out of what you left behind. Now, that's the truth of it. You ain't got but one friend. It's the Most High. Now, turn your back on him, and you ain't going to have no goddamn back.
That's right.
Who you think is your only friend? Your only true friend. And you too busy for him? You too busy in creation to pay attention to the creator of it? Have you lost your mind? If you put half as much energy into the creator as you do in the creation, you know you're going to be on top forever. But what fools these mortals be? They don't know what side the bread is really buttered on. And who doing the buttering? Who brings them every heartbeat and every breath? And the devil tells you, don't worry about that.
Right.
Yeah. So when we die, there ain't going to be no resurrection, no judgment. And they asked the prophet one time, so you try to say we're going to be raised up from the grave and we end up with bones and raggedy flesh, nikara, rotten bones? And the prophet reminded them of the words of the Most High. He said, see you not the stars and the moon and the sun? How do they move? The sun rises every morning to do what again at night?
The
set. Only to do what again the next morning?
Rise again.
Understand, it's phonetics. You are the sun, S-O-N. He's telling you that you go up and you go down and you go up again by his command. And look at you in the grave. So where were all of you at 100 years ago? I'm waiting. He said, surely there came a time, O man, when he was nothing that could be remembered, nothing worth mentioning. You believe that? 100 years ago, what was your name and who thought about you? So he said, I brought you forth. I brought you forth as a tiny sperm mixed with ovum that traveled through over the Taraib in gushing water, over the feces, over the shit, nigga. I brought you forth into my water, bro. I brought you forth into the world, and you have grown up to be to me an open contender, an open disputant. Have you lost your goddamn mind? What happened to your memory in that first weak state? You wouldn't even know we could see. You wouldn't even know. And I done brought you, and you out here, you got yourself angry and at war with me? That's dangerous. You get more than Miriam. Better open your eyes and see the works of the Most High. Because his are the only works. They're the good works. The devil is a liar. You better know that. The devil is a liar. And be ye not partakers of her sins, because you'll also be partakers of her chastisement. Now, if I scared you all sufficiently, which was not my intention is to wake you up. Because y'all like coffee. Y'all was once black and was wide awake. But now y'all done put too much damn cream in the coffee and you keep falling asleep. Didn't I tell you to go out?
That was pretty good.
I'm not a preacher. Go out and join all the large groups on Facebook, Telegram, Instagram, Twitter. Go and join them large groups and create posts that's got my class links on it, like this one right here. That'll wake people up. Don't try to do it yourself. You're not me yet. Go out there and put them links on. I am your direct connection to the Creator. I am your vertical link on a horizontal existence. Go and put those links and the times and numbers for the classes and spread it to millions and millions of people. And you too will be remembered for all times. Or you're going to fall through the cracks by the wayside and be a thing to be forgotten. Cut off and in misery forever. That's my message to you all tonight. But the most resounding one is I love you all. And so does he. Love yourself and one another. Send donations. Post up the post. Write your testimonies about tonight's class. Email them to me so I can post them all over the world along with you. I love you. Get your spiritual packages. Need your authority. Amun-Rayay, answer. Servant to the 144,000. Peace.